Hey, Charlie. So I want to go over my top 4 for you, man. Number 1, I think, was a pretty resounding winner here. We did this Bulgarian split squat version. Again, I would take this to failure. I would take any of these to failure no more than 3 times a week. And you can kind of mix and match, but I know this one will get you to failure probably quicker than the others. So again, we're propping up that back leg. Does not really matter what height. Instead of being, traditionally, people would usually be pretty far apart on these, but that's going to be more hamstring and glute dominant. I want you to tuck this foot way back in, so that way that knee's going over the toes. That's number 1. And then number 2, to take your glute out of it, get leaned over a bit. So we're leaned over. I don't care what, I'd love you to add some additional weight here. So whether that's a pair of dumbbells, whether that's one in front, whether that's a bar, I don't care, but I'll tell you what, we're lighting it up right where we need to lighten up on that inner quad. Love that one for you. Number 2, same principle. I still want to be kind of in that forward flexion position, or that lunge, or heck, you can even still do it, somewhat elevated. I'm not going to lose too much sleep, but the whole idea is now we're going a lot lighter than that one. We're not loading this up with weight. We're staying body weight or very lightweight. But I want you've been doing yours about here. That's fine. But again, at this lower weight, we want to reintroduce more range of motion into that knee. Excuse me. I think your joint won't respond as negatively to those really deep squats and those really deep movements if we just don't have that load on there. So even this, we're going full range of motion, but I don't think you're going to quite have that next day soreness like you do with a deep squat, because again, there's just less stress on the joint this way. We're maximizing its range, but we're not loading up that intensity. Right now it's kind of either or. That split squat's about as crazy as we can get. This is a little bit erring on the side of range of motion. Number 3 is going to be that single leg press. That is the opposite. It's going to err a little less on the range of motion side, but obviously you can beef up the strength side. So remember our rules on the leg press. We're going single leg. You don't need to get cockeyed or turned or anything like that. Just straight leg. Low on the platform. Low on the platform is more quad. High on the platform is more hamstring. So stay as low as you can, but still pushing through your heel. And then from there, deep range, get a full flexion in there, as much as that the leg press will let you, and then only come out to about, you can probably go to maybe 30 degrees of bend. We just don't need to fight lockout, because again, the assumption is going to be that's going to be a lot of resistance. It might be, single leg press might be 100 pounds, maybe a good starting point somewhere in there, but so we don't need to forcefully lock that. Now, if you're just doing a standing exercise, heck yeah, I want you to lock it. A lot less resistance on the knee. Last one was the reverse Nordics. So again, this is less probably therapeutic, less to do with your injury at the moment, but just trying to build a little resiliency, a little bit more mobility in those quads. You have this really confusing, very flexible quad work, yet when we get into certain ranges, it's like certain muscles aren't firing, right? And like you said, you feel these a little bit higher up in the quads, which I don't want to shy away from them just because we feel them in a little different range. I think anytime for you that we can, and you and anybody else, sorry, I think anytime we can increase our range of motion and also have resistance is a wonderful thing. Because think about biking, think about walking, you kind of already work in a pretty limited range of motion. So if we can increase your range of motion, really get you used to having some tension on the quads when they're at a full stretch, I think that's good work regardless of where exactly you feel it. Now again, the whole goal here is to catch the right leg up to the left leg. These won't necessarily do that because you're working them evenly. But biking doesn't do that either, and that's part of your routine. So I think there are some things here we have to kind of say, you know what, this might not be the best single leg option, but it's still a good option. Whereas the first 3 we just did, the Bulgarian split squats, the lunges, and the single leg press are very good therapeutic type options. So those are more of the exhaust it a few times a week, pick your poison on which ones you like. Whereas the reverse Nordics, or even just going into regular old squats, I think there's still a place for that. I still want you to be athletic and getting used to that depth. Or like we talked about, if you're coming out of a catcher stance, normally you would hurt, but you would also probably roll under your toes and get a lot of calf hamstring engagement. But we know that if you push through your heels here, you're not gonna have near as much crepitus, near as much pain. So I like the squats, I like the reverse Nordics, I like the leg press just because they're going to get you used to just normal mechanics a little bit better. I know we're kind of, not a whole lot new, not a whole lot to refresh there, but really, really love that new one, especially with the chest bent over, stay low, add some weight, stay over that knee. I think that's what we've been missing. I think we've been a little too far away and getting a lot of hip involvement otherwise. So I love those for you, man. I hope that helps, and hope we do it again in a few months, and we'll go on to phase 3. All right, brother. Take care. Bye.